Morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone, wherever you're at in the world. It is Last Perhaps Baseball giving you the call of Chinese Taipei, Taiwan national team going head-to-head against the Hokkaido Nippon-Ham Fighters. We are a little bit behind here in getting a feed, but we have one here as Shin Mizutani is at the plate. He is in a 0-2 count, and he is facing the right-hander for the Taiwanese, and that is Gu-Lin Ryu Yang, who is also a Hokkaido Nippon-Ham fighter. So the fastball is swung at and fouled away, and the count is 0-2. We'll get you the starting lineups for both of these teams as quickly as we possibly can, as we are in this one here tonight. There's a fastball that misses upstairs to Mizutani, and the count goes to 1-2. Mizutani getting the start in left field tonight. He'll be followed by Chusei Manami and Franmil Reyes, the top three hitters in the order. As the pitch is on the way, there's a breaking ball that is waved at and missed. And Mizutani is gone for the first out of the innings, so one up and one away here. And that is going to bring up the right fielder, Chusei Manami. So a little bit of a wonky start for us. We've been waiting. And the other thing is that the lineups never got posted until about 5 minutes before first pitch. As the pitch is a breaking ball that is swung through and missed. Count is quickly 0-1 to Manami. Manami batting from the right side here against the right-handed throwing Lin. Breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Right-hander again delivers. There's a breaking ball missing down. Good stop there by the catcher. Keeps that in front of him. That is Lin behind the plate again tonight. So 1 ball and 2 strikes is the count. Doing a little catch-up at our end on the backside, making sure we got all the batters in place as that fastball is swung on and fouled away, and 1-2 it remains on Manami. Once we got going last night, it was pretty smooth sailing. 4-0 victory for the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks. The Taiwanese only had 2 hits in the game last night, as that fastball is swung through and missed. And Manami is in the books for out number 2, back-to-back strikeouts to begin the ball game. For the starting pitcher, Gu-Lin Ryu Yang. As I mentioned, he was the MVP of the Taiwanese League in 2024, and he signed a contract with the Fighters last year. Of course, he will be in their lineups regular. Here's the first offering to Franmil Reyes. It's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Franimal has enjoyed himself a renaissance to his career. This is going to be his 3rd year with the Fighters as he strings through a fastball, and the count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Right-hander delivers again. Fastball hammered foul into the stands down the right field line. As it's no balls and 2 strikes to Reyes. Reyes getting the nod as the DH tonight. Yuya Gunji waiting his turn on deck. As we said, we'll get you the rest of the lineup this evening. There's a fastball swung through and missed, and Reyes is in the books. And the starting pitcher tonight, Gu-Lin Ryu Yang, strikes out the side, and that is going to do it here in the first inning for the Fighters. There was no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left aboard. Your score as we move to the bottom of inning number 1. It is the Fighters 0 and the Taiwanese coming to bat. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back and try to catch up on all this in just a couple of moments. Fighters 0, Taiwan coming to bat here in the bottom of the first inning. We'll be back in just a couple moments with all the action right after this timeout. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the top of the order coming here to bat for Taiwan in their half of the inning. I'm just trying to get ourselves straightened out. They have a leadoff hitter, and it looks like it is Cheng Rui Song, who is not listed, at least on the classic roster as of yet. Now, they have had a couple injuries. There's been a couple of guys that are out here, so we're going to see if I am indeed standing correct. I know in the Japanese team, they had some support players, they called it, guys who aren't on the team, but were part of the group as the first pitch ready to come here from the starting lefty for the Fighters. As that first pitch fastball from Hasano misses down, so 1 ball and no strikes. Lefty again kicks and fires. There's a fastball that swung through and missed, and the count goes to 1-1. As I was mentioning earlier, that so Cheng Rui Song is the hitter, as there's a breaking ball swung through and missed. The count goes to 1-2. The Japanese have used some support players because some of the players are in North America and hadn't come back for the camp with the team or for some of the exhibition games. They're just starting to filter in now. I know that there's been a couple of injuries as players have been removed from a roster. The Japanese team have taken off Yuki Matsui. Fastball swung on. This is golfed into straightaway center field. Moving over underneath it with room to make the catch is Haruki Nishikawa. And that is going to retire Sung for the first out of the inning. So 1 away here for the Taiwanese. And that is going to bring up Yu Chang to the plate. Chang appeared in last night's game against the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks. He did reach base on a base on balls. They did not have a lot of base runners last night, the Taiwanese. They only had 2 hits off of the Hawks pitchers. As the lefty Hasano holds to the set, pitching from the stretch with nobody on. First pitch fastball misses outside. Ball 1 it is to Chang. We mentioned the other night that Chang is one of the few players in the lineup that has major league experience. And there he swings at a fastball. He lifts this into deep left field. Giving chase is Mizutani as he's rolling back. Of course, right at that appropriate time, our feed is freezing. Unbelievable. This is hopefully not going to be the case all night long as Mizutani leaps at the wall. And is he going to haul it in? Yes, he does. And he smashes into the wall in left field, and that is going to retire Yu Chang. He sent it for a ride and sent us for a what's going to happen here moment. And that will do it for him. This is going to bring up the right fielder in Jishen Chen. And the first pitch to him is missed for a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. A little bit of a different feed tonight. The last couple of nights we're getting the names in the script. Tonight it is all in Mandarin as there's a fastball swung on, or maybe Japanese. I'll have to look again there. Foul is 1 ball and 1 strike. It is DAZN who is picking up the games if you are in Asia and listening in. So Asano holds to the set. Now he kicks and delivers. Breaking ball swung on. This is lifted down the left field line. Giving chase is Mizutani. He's moving toward the line and the corner, and he makes the catch. And that is going to retire hitter for the 3rd out of the inning. Well, they go in order too, do the Taiwanese. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. You are through 1 complete inning on the Last Rouse Baseball YouTube channel. Your score is the Fighters 0, and the Chinese Taipei World Baseball Classic team, no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the 2nd inning right after this musical timeout. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the top of the second inning, and slated to come to bat is going to be the heart of the order. It will be Yuya Gunji. It'll be Haruki Nishikawa. And at first base tonight, it is going to be Naoki Arizono. So I don't know, Naoki Arizono. We'll be looking at him and for the first time tonight. So Arizono on for the start at who gets the nod at first base this evening. We had seen a number of different players. He's a youngster. He's only 22 years old. He's surrounded by a bunch of the veterans. We saw that in last night's game with the Hawks. Of course, they're missing some players to the classic team. First pitch breaking ball misses down and away to Gunji. Count is quickly 1-0. Gunji getting the start at third base tonight. Really open stance. And the pitch on the way is a breaking ball missing down, and the count now goes to 2-0. I would expect more so with the Fighters than with the Taiwanese is that they'll probably do what the Hawks did yesterday and split the playing time up of their group, as there's a fastball swung on. This ball is belted into deep left field, but it's going to get hooked foul into the stands down the left field line, and the count goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and a strike. Didn't miss by much. Looked like it was just a little bit left of the foul pole. There's a breaking ball that misses up and in, and the count goes to 3-1 on Gunji. So 3 balls and 1 strike. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is belted to left field, and the first one just hooked foul, but this one didn't. This is going to get rammed into the seats as Yuya Gunji has given the Fighters an early 1-0 lead here. A solo shot, and that ball got blistered out in a hurry. It looked like he knew it was coming off his Fighters teammate. And the Fighters are on the board 1-0 here, and that doesn't bode well for the Taiwanese, who failed to score a run in last night's game. They're going to have to try to produce something here straight away. But Gunji knew as soon as he hit it, he basically got a couple steps out of the box. He wasn't running hard. There was a heck of a catch by the fan in about the 10th row. First pitch fastball misses up and into Nishikawa, and it's ball 1 to him. Nishikawa batting from the left side here against the right-handed throwing Guilin, and there's a breaking ball that just catches the inside corner for a called strike, and the count goes even to 1-1. Pitch on the way, there's a breaking ball swung on. This is tap foul down the first base line, and the count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes to Nishikawa. And as I was mentioning, just some different looks with the lineup here tonight as that fastball swung on and fouled away, and 1-2 it remains here to Nishikawa, who gets the start in center field for this one tonight. Right-hander Guilin kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on, and it's fouled away right at the plate. And 2-2 it remains on the center fielder of the Fighters. For those of you who have just joined us tonight, we will be on the airwaves again tomorrow, as there's a fastball that misses down and in to the left-handed hitting Nishikawa to run the count full at 3-2. We thought about maybe doing the double tonight, as Japan will play the Chichi Dragons. That goes off in less than 3 hours' time. Fastball swung on. This ball is belted into right field. This ball could be trouble. Racing over to the foul line and making a catch on the run is the right fielder for the Taiwanese. Nice play there by Jishen Chen. And that will retire Nishikawa for the first out of the innings. So 1 gone, a couple of hard hit balls here. And that is going to bring up the first baseman in Naoki Arizono. And the first pitch to him is a fastball that misses upstairs for ball 1. So 1 ball and no strikes. Batting from the right side. Open stance here against Guilin. Hands really extended, and the pitch on the way is a breaking ball that misses way upstairs, and the count now goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Right-hander working from the stretch, even though nobody's on base. There's a breaking ball that just catches the outside corner at the knees. 2 balls and 1 strike it is to the right-handed hitting first baseman of the Fighters. Lynn works really quickly. There is a breaking ball swung on and missed, and the count now goes to 2-2. I know there is a pitch counter and a pitch clock here, and certainly for the pitcher here, he is wasting a little time being able to get things going. Here's the 2-2 pitch. There's a changeup that misses down. The count now goes to 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Pitch on the way, and it is a breaking ball, waved at and missed. And that is going to do it as Arizona is down on strike. He's gone for the second out of the inning. The 4th strikeout recorded by Gu Lin. 2 in the books, and it is going to bring Daiki Narama to the plate. As the first pitch on the way is a breaking ball that misses down. And there's 1 ball and no strikes. Daiki Narama getting the start tonight. As the right-hander kicks and delivers. Fastball at the knees, taken for a called strike, and the count runs even to 1-1. Narama getting the start at second base. Second base could be wide open as Kazunori Ishii had left in the offseason. I believe he's with the Saitama Cebu Lions. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count now runs to 1-2 on Narama. The catcher Shimizu waits his turn on deck, and then it'll be Mizuno in the 9 spot. Right-hander Gu Lin holding set. Here's the pitch. On the way, fastball swung on, chopped softly back to the pitcher. Gu Lin picks it up. He's going to have to hurry. He fires to first, and that is going to get Narama on a ground out 1-3. He's gone for the 3rd out of the inning, and that is going to do it. They had 1 run in the inning on the benefit of 1 hit. There was no errors, and there was nobody left aboard. The home run off the bat of Yuya Gunji has the Fighters out in front. Their score as we are through 1.5. It is the Fighters 1 and the Taiwanese no score. Hang with us, everybody. Our friend W. Vogs is in the house. He is here, as is My Cool Hooks. Thanks for stopping in, fellas. We'll be right back in just a couple of moments with all the action. Bottom of the 2nd inning, just around the corner when we come back after this musical timeout.
This is Steve Rademacher, and I'd like to introduce you to my channel if you haven't seen it before. These are all the things I enjoy: sports, autographs, relics, non-sports Hall of Famers, pseudo-sports, Star Wars. That's my channel name and my name, and I would really appreciate it if you would come check me out and maybe even subscribe if you like it. Thank you for that for now, and back to your ball game.
Welcome back, everybody. We've got a momentary delay here. I'm not exactly sure what the issue is. I know that the home plate umpire had to have a word over on the side, and they're going to get the other umpires in to have a word with them here. It makes you kind of wonder, as neither of the fighters haven't taken to the field yet, as the home plate umpire had a word with a group over on the fighters' side. I always think, was there an earthquake or something of that nature that may have taken place that has caused that delay? It is pretty much a full house again tonight. Last night they weren't quite at capacity, but it was pretty close. We're just going to have ourselves a minor delay here. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple of moments. Our friend God is Great is in the house. Maybe he has some insight on that. And maybe Titus will let us know as well. Slight delay here. We'll be back in just a moment once they get everybody else ready to go. Pitchers are throwing in front of the dugouts. We'll take this time out to catch up. Hang tight, everybody.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Back, everybody. No matter what the delay is, it is over now as the fighters have taken to the field, and we are ready to resume the action here in just a couple moments, as it is going to be coming to bat Anko Lin, Ning-Ting Wu, and it looks like it is going to be Kunyu Zhang, if I'm not mistaken, as that will be the ones who will be in spot here. I also think, I'm not sure if Zhang is another one who is not in the, or originally on the roster. He's getting the start at shortstop. Shortstop last night, I have to go back and take my look. I believe it was, it was Kunyong Chang, or was as it was. There's a fastball swung on and it's lifted foul. But the same fella, just the spelling on the translation a little different. So fouled away on the first pitch to Anko Lin. He's in the hole at 0-1. We talked about Lin last night. He has signed a off-season deal with the Saitama Cebu Lions, and the Lions, who went from being one of the worst teams a couple of years ago in the Pacific League to making some acquisitions to trying to turn the tables. Breaking ball down, but the third base umpire goes up at the right hand, says that Lin had gone around. It's going to run the count to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes as the lefty Hisano kicks and delivers. Fastball swung on it is popped up over on the right side of the infield, coming over underneath it and battling the lights, but making the catch is the first baseman for the Fighters, and that would be Naoki Arizono for the first out of the innings. So one gone here. That's going to bring up the first baseman in Ning-Ting Wu. So one former Saitama Cebu, or one current Saitama Cebu Lion, followed by a former Saitama Cebu Lion in Ning-Ting Wu, batting from the left side here. The first pitch is a fastball just below the knees for ball one. Count is 1-0. I mentioned last night that the Taiwanese only had 2 hits as a team, as there's a breaking ball swung through and missed, and the count now goes to 0-2. Ning-Ting Wu had 1 of the hits, and the other hit in last night's ball game belonged to Lyle Lin. There's a fastball swung on. This ball's line down the left field line. Is it going to stay fair? It's just going to slice foul. That's going to bring Wu back to the plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes. I was thinking about it yesterday. Balls that were put in play, they had the 2 hits, and I could only remember about 3 other hits that were hammered hard by the Taiwanese in last night's ball game. And that doesn't bode well going into the tournament. They are going to have to find some way to swing the bats, because the facing a club team, not necessarily the best of the national teams. Fastball misses upstairs to Wu, and the count now goes even to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Left-hander against the left-hander. Hosono works to the set, now delivers. Pitches breaking ball swung on his top softly over to the right side. Hosono comes off the mound, fields it. Underhand flips to first. It's going to go as a ground out 1-3 for the second out of the inning. So 2 gone here. And that is going to bring up the shortstop in Kunyu Chang. So it is Kunyu Chang, who moved up in the batting order from last night. So Chang batting from the right side here against Hisano. I was saying that getting the lineups was a little difficult. Actually, it wasn't for the Taiwanese. Their lineup was up about an hour before the game on their Instagram channel, as there's a breaking ball that's down and in, and it goes all the way to the backstop. So 1 ball and no strikes to Chang. Lefty working to the set position. Here comes the 1-0 offering. Fastball swung on. This is hammered foul down the right field line. It's going to slice into the seats. As we said, a much more healthier crowd tonight than even last night. Last night to see the defending champions, the Hawks. And, of course, they had to face one of their own who will be joining them as well in the pitcher of Joe Siu. There is a breaking ball that just misses, and the count now goes to 2-1 on Chang. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Lefty Hosano ready to go again. As he kicks and fires, fastball misses way outside. The count now goes to 3-1. I got to say, I kind of like these Taiwanese uniforms. They are wearing a black top today. Yesterday, I forget if they were in the grays yesterday or if they were in the whites. Can't remember off the top of my head. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away. Count goes to 3-2 on Chang. Fighters wearing their blue tops with the white trim. I have to say, these are kind of snazzy uniforms, better than the alternative jerseys they had a couple of years ago. 2-2 on the way, swung on and lifted foul into the seats over on the first base side. I have it at 3-2 to Chang. They've got it at 2-2 on the scoreboard. Well, I guess we're going to have to go with them. So 2 balls and 2 strikes it remains. Again, the lefty working himself into the set position, ready to deliver. Sano kicks and fires. Fastball swung on and lifted foul down the right field line. Can reach the seats. Tomorrow night, it is going to be the Fighters and the Wei Chun Dragons. Although I was looking at maybe calling that one, but I don't think I'm going to be able to make it home in time to do it. I'm going to have to wait to give another call a little later. There's a fastball swung through and missed. And Chang is in the books. That is 6 in a row retired to start the ball game here by the Fighters. And that is going to do it for Team Taiwan in their half of the second. They go in order with no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're now moving to the top of the third inning. It is the Fighters 1 and no score for the Team Taiwan or the Chinese Taipei, depending on where you're coming from. We'll be back in just a couple of moments. We appreciate you guys for listening in. But the Taiwanese definitely would say it is Taiwan. We'll be right back in a few. Scoreline is Fighters 1, Team Taiwan nothing. We'll be back in just a couple moments with all the action. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be Yushi Shimizu, Tetsuki Mizuno on the top of the order, Shun Mizutani to come to bat here. So the 8, 9, and 1 hitters to face the right-hander here in the top of the third inning. So Gu Lin Ryu Yang on the hill here for his third inning of work. And the first pitch is a fastball that misses way upstairs. So ball 1 it is to Shimizu. Shimizu batting in the 8th spot of the order, hitting from the right side, getting the nod behind the plate. There's a fastball swung on it. It's up at the eyes, and he tomahawks it into left center field. That's going to get down for a base hit. As he rounds first, he's going to throw on the brakes and retreat back to first. So he is aboard with a single, and that is going to bring up the shortstop in Tatsuki Mizuno. And so for Mizuno, getting the start tonight. I wonder if either of these teams, I haven't seen a bunt yet in either of the two games. I can't remember yesterday at all seeing one. Either the teams would employ any of this at this point, or if it's just swing the bat, get the timing, worry about the bunting later. First pitch fastball misses down to Mizuno, ball one it is to him. And the pitch on the way, there's a fastball swung on, it's grounded to second. They go over to second for one, and that's all they're going to get. It was a terrible flip by Zue Lin to the shortstop covering, and what had happened was he had to stretch to the outfield side just to hang on for Kunyu Chang, and they were able to get the fielder's choice, so that's going to retire Shimizu. It'll be a fielder's choice 4-6, so the usually sure-handed and smooth fielding Zue Lin, they did get the out, but they should have been able to get two, and that is going to make Mizuno safe over at first base. It brings the top of the order, Shun Mizutani, to the plate, and he swings at a breaking ball in the dirt, and the count is quickly 0-1. Mizutani 0 for 1 tonight. He struck out his only time up. Batting from the right side here against the right-handed throwing Gu Lin. Glenn steps off the back of the rubber and he gets himself on. They're using the pitch com. Should throw that thing in the garbage and just get back to the old ways. There's a fastball that he was calling for, but instead he ends up firing it over to first base. And so he's got his glove up to his ear so he can hear what exactly is being communicated to him. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball swung on it, is lifted down the right field line. It is slicing towards the seats, giving chase as the first baseman, Nin Ting Wu, but the ball's going to bounce up into the netting, and it's going to run the count now to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes to Mizutani. I like Mizutani. I mean, he was the MVP of the interleague play a couple of seasons ago, and the reason I like him is just the way that he moves, the way that he does stuff. Well, now the question is what's his upside going to be? There's a ground ball chopped over to second. They go to second for one, back to first. It's not going to be in time. Much better play there by the second baseman, Zue Lin. It's going to erase Mizuno on the fielder's choice. Another 4-6 in the books. That's the second out of the inning. Safe on the trail side was Mizutani. And so that'll bring up the right fielder in Chusei Minami. It's too bad. 2 opportunities to potentially turn to double play. They couldn't get either one. And now Minami comes to the plate with 1 gone. A very dangerous hitter. He is a streaky hitter as well. The first pitch, breaking ball, drops in for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Mizutani can carry a team on his back for a couple of weeks. Our friend JC Kuma says, how come you're not a fan of the pitch com? Not a fan of the pitch com because I can't tell you how many times that as that fastball swung on and fouled away that we got to stop the game because either it's not working or we got to stop the game because, there's a communication error, there's volume, we got to stop the game, and it just throws the whole timing of the game out of whack. There's a breaking ball down that's going to be swung on and missed by Mizutani, by Chusei Minami, and that's going to do it here. I'll come back and rant a little bit more in just a moment, but no runs in the inning. There was a hit, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. Your scores moved to the bottom of the 3rd inning. It is a 1-0 lead for the Fighters. Bottom 3 hitters in the batting order coming to bat. Mr. Cap in the house. We'll be back in just a couple of moments. Appreciate you guys for hopping in here with us tonight on the Last Drafts Baseball YouTube channel. I'll carry on my PitchCom rant in just a few. 1-0 scoreline as we move to the bottom of the third. We'll be right back in just a couple of moments with all the action after this.
Oh, hello. Oh, hey. Yep. I'm just sitting here listening to Freddie call another game here on YouTube. Oh, yeah, going really good. He's calling a great game. Really exciting. Lots of stuff going on. You're lucky it's commercial break right now. I got a second. Oh, yeah, of course I'm having a cold one. Oh, yeah, got plenty of videos coming up this week. You should stop in, check them out, leave a like, tell other people. But, Freddie's coming back. I got to go catch the game. I will check in with you later. You have a good night, buddy. Bye.
Welcome back, everybody. It's going to be the bottom third of the batting order to come to bat here for the Taiwanese in their half of inning number 3, and that would be Liao Lin, Zue Lin, and Chi Chen Chen is coming up to bat as the last hitter in the batting order. We're going to get some of the names right as we move along here. I guess we'll have to do a little bit more practice as we go. It looks like it's Chi Wei Chen? It's Chi Wei Chen who is going to be in that last spot. So we'll see that for there. And the first pitch on the way here from Hisano is a fastball to Liao Lin that swung on and fouled away. Count is quickly 0-1. Lin got the start in last night's game. He got the first half of the game behind the plate, and he was substituted out midway. I would expect similar tonight. There's a fastball that comes up and in, and it's swung on and missed by Lin, and the count is 0-2. I was going back. I was talking a little bit about the pitch comm in that last half inning, and it's just a piece to the game that, I'd say it's gimmicky, I guess, in the best way. There's a fastball that's down. It's 1-2. You think about it, in the college ranks going back about 20 years ago, they decided to go to the armband system where they would have an armband. They would have a randomized set of numbers for the pitches, and you could always give the numbers of whatever you needed to do. And then every day you could change your armband. And the armband would have that. You could signal it out to the pitcher, whatever it might be. And there's different types of systems, not just the number system. There's pump system. There's touch systems. As that breaking ball misses down, and the count now goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes. But as I said, unnecessary delays in the game. We talk about speeding up the game. That's one way to slow the game right back down. There's a fastball waved at and missed, and Lin's in the books for the first out of inning number 3, and by our counts, the second strikeout here recorded by Hisano. And I'm all for certain things in the ball game, but we've added technology into the game that really doesn't necessarily have its place. As the pitch coming here from Hisano is, the average fan who's enjoying the game, there's a breaking ball, take it for a called strike. You think of the spin rate on the pitches. Who actually cares about the spin rate of the pitches? Did he get the guy out? What was the pitch? There's a fastball that comes inside, and it is hit Zue Lin. And he is going to be aboard for the first base runner here for Taiwan tonight, and that is going to bring Chen Wei Chen to the plate. And where he got hit, very similar to a player in yesterday's game who got hit. I have to go back and look at my notes. As far as it was, I believe, one of the players for the Fukuoka Ball Club who got clocked with the pitch, or was it Ning Ting Wu got hit with the pitch yesterday and had to leave the game? And the first pitch that's delivered to Chen was fouled away, and the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and a strike. Lefty delivers a fastball missing upstairs, and the count runs even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. One of the other things, too, is the players getting hustling on and off the field, even at the professional level. You get guys that dog it on and off. Fastball swung on and lifted foul into the seats. Count goes to 1-2. I was at a game a couple of years ago, and it was it Clint Frazier, I think his name was, former Yankee, but he was with the White Sox. And he was in right field. playing at Comerica Park in Detroit. Fastball misses upstairs. And he walked all the way from the dugout all the way out to his position. Or was it vice versa from his position? I was out from the dugout to his position, just walked, didn't even break a trot. There's a breaking ball that's taken for a called third strike. Oh, Chen punched out as that one sails across. He's gone for the second out of the inning, and they'll bring up the top of the order. And Cheng Rui Song. And I have to say, that gets annoying at times when you watch guys getting paid quite a bit of money to perform what they have to do, and there becomes some laziness. Maybe that's why the White Sox are what they are, or have been what they have been. Fastball swung on, chopped softly back to the mound. Rick Hassan, he fields it, throws to first, and that is going to do it. It's going to go down as a ground out, 1-3 for the third out of the inning. And that will do it here for Taiwan in their half of the third inning. No runs in the inning, no hits, no errors. There was a runner left aboard. Your scores, we're now a third of the way through this one. It is the Fighters 1 and the Taiwanese no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple of moments with more action right after this on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Glad you could poke your head in here tonight and listen to the call. We'll be back in just a bit.
Guys, thank you for joining Freddie here on his baseball game. And I'm Steve Rademacher, and my channel is really all about everybody, including all my international friends. We have such stuff as non-sport packs from Canada, the OP Cheese. We have the Greek Freak. We have money from around the world. We have lira. We have yen. We have francs, we have pounds, we have Deutschmarks, we have all kinds of cool stuff like that. We even have some cooler things like Japanese women wrestlers and OPC baseball cards where I cannot read the back. We even have unopened material like the royal family, I know it's backwards, from London, England. Thank you for watching. Back to Freddie.
Welcome back, everybody. It is just taking a look here to see if we are going to have ourselves a pitching change or if it is still going to be the return of Gu Lin Ryung. And it looks like we are getting a new pitcher. The first pitch delivered to Franmil Reyes is swung on and grounded foul over on the third base side. So we'll get you updated with that as we can possibly do it. We've got a big right-hander on the hill. Looks like it is Yi Chang. As the pitch on the way, there's a breaking ball that goes all the way to the backstop, and the count now goes even at 1-1 to Reyes. Well, that is where the things have gone off the rails yesterday for the Taiwanese when they went into the bullpen. Actually, the starting pitcher got tagged with a couple of runs, but it was the reliever who came in and just threw gasoline on the fire. Wasn't able to get that final out after the starter had taken a ball just below the knee. It looked like he'd taken a ball below the knee, but he was complaining about his knee. As there's a 2-1 count here to Reyes. He had to leave the game a little bit early. Wasn't particularly sharp, but sharp enough to keep the Hawks at bay as that fastball misses up and away. It's 3-1. We saw when the bullpen came in for the Taiwanese yesterday, his throwing strengths became a challenge. As Reyes waits here on the offering, it is a fastball swung on. It is lifted into right center field. It's playable, coming in hard, both the center fielder and the right fielder, but it is going to be the right fielder for Taiwan who's going to make that grab, and that is going to retire Reyes for the second time tonight. He's gone for out number 1 here. So 1 gone in the books. That brings up the man of the hour who's got the only run so far tonight. That would be Yuya Gunji. The first pitch is swung on and fouled away. The count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. It was Chi Xian Chen, by the way, who made that catch out in the outfield. Pitch on the way. It is a breaking ball that misses down. Count now goes even to 1 ball and 1 strike on Gunji. I think I'm all caught up now on our lineup card. Of course, that'll probably change come midway through the game. There's a breaking ball that misses down. The count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and a strike. Just looking over the lineup from last night, the Hawks had pounded out 9 hits against the Taiwanese pitching, only 2 hits for Team Taiwan as the pitch on the way is a fastball that misses up. Count now goes to 3-1. JC says, wasn't the PitchCom implemented because of the Astros? Well, the Astros played a part in that, of course, in sign stealing. There's a breaking ball that misses outside. And they're calling no pitch on that, or has time been called? We're going to have to take a look at this here. The way the umpire jumped out, he had called time. I don't know if that was before or after the pitch had been made. We're going to get a look at this again. No, that looks like it is going to be ball 4, as that is going to allow Gunji to reach base. And that is going to bring up the center fielder in Haruki Nishikawa. Well, sign stealing has been part of the game. Simply dropping numbers down is one thing. You can always use a pump system. You could use a touch system. There's different ways to be creative in being able to give your signs. And, of course, the Astros, we've got another stoppage in play here. I'm not sure exactly what the umpire is discussing with the Taiwanese team as he had gone over to the speaker or to the folks in behind the scene. It looks like that there is a confab here on the mound as Lee Lin has come out and Chang again. Actually, what it looks like is they're talking about the baseball. Maybe they're complaining about the balls, whether or not it's a substance on the ball or the balls haven't been rubbed up. Normally they would rub up the baseballs a little bit before the game. If they would do it with the mud here, the Mississippi mud in North America. I don't know what they use in Taiwan other than that they've gone down to pick up some dirt and start rubbing it up. But it must have been Chang complaining about the grip of the pitches, or at least the balls. So anyways, as we were talking about, the possibility, what we would suggest and things that you can do is sign stealing is always going to be a part of the game. And the subtleties of the sign stealing is exactly that. You think of Aaron Judge at second base and holding his arms out in different directions. He's making no bones about it that he's passing signs along, but there's subtleties, whether a guy's got a clenched fist, whether he's got an open hand, whether he's got his hands outside his body, whether they're inside his body, whether they're on his hips or not, as he's able to convey messages to his teammates at the plate. As they sort out this stoppage in play here. With regards to the baseballs, we'll have to see if there is anything else where we are at. Right now they are still examining the balls and we're just waiting at our end. Now we're back at it. So at the plate here is Haruki Nishikawa, and the pitch on the way is a fastball that misses inside, and the count, we missed the ball. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Runner on first is Gunji. 1 gone here in the 4th inning. So hopefully that gives you at least my thoughts on it. And I don't know if there's a correct answer. I guess the correct answer is it's always going to happen. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep center field. This ball could be trouble. Racing back on the track, looking up, as Song is going to watch it sail into the seats. It's going to be a 2-run homer off the bat of Nishikawa, and the Fighters have now taken a 3-0 lead. over the Taiwanese. A 2-run blast here in the 4th inning. It's going to bring up Naoki Arizono to the plate. It was a bit of a wall scraper. Got into the front row, but he'll take it nonetheless. As he gets high fives from everybody returning back to the dugout. That brings to the plate Arizono on the first pitch coming here. From Cheng as a fastball swung on and lifted foul into the seats over on the first base side. So no balls and 1 strike. Right-hander against the right-hander. He kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that misses down. Count runs even to 1-1. Other things that are in the scope of the game, like we can get on and talk about other topics. The pitch comm is one. Pitch clock, at first I had to think about the pitch clock. I wanted to see it in action. Certainly at the major league level where you have an opportunity for a clock, there's a fastball ticket for a called strike. It's now 1-2. I'll give it that. They have really sped the game along and moved the game from a snail's pace. You can get games that are approaching 2.5 hours and you're completed. That is a big piece for Major League Baseball. Fastball swung on and fouled off into the feet of the hitter. 1 ball, 2 strikes, it remains. One thing I would prefer to see is still the pitchers hitting, because when you have a DH and you have to make in-between inning pitching changes, that slows the game down. There's no doubt about it. But if you have a pitcher hitting in the lineup, it's also a dead out in the lineup. It'll help speed the game along. And the next piece is there's a fastball swung on, grounded to short, fielded on the backhand, and a nice throw across the diamond by Chang, and that is going to get Arizona on a ground out 6-3 for the second out of the inning. It's going to leave it all up to Taiki Narama. But also where I'm headed with that is that you've got the speed of the game that picks up with the pitcher batting. It puts basically a dead out in your lineup. And if you got somebody who can hit, it gives your team a much added bonus as that fastball swung on and fouled away. No balls and 1 strike to Narama. At the same time, too, it also forces you to have to manage. So in other words, do you pinch hit for the pitcher? Do you keep them in the game? Do you want to extend them? Fastball swung on, grounded through the 6-hole into left field. And Narama is aboard with a 2-out single. And that'll bring up Yoshi Shimizu to the plate. So you have to ask yourself, is that something that's worthwhile, or adding the DH? And then the pitching changes become more frequent in the middle of the innings. I do like the rule where if you bring somebody in, they got to face a minimum of 3 batters. I've got no beef with that. I think that's really good for baseball. But it does remove a bit of that situational left-hander that you used to see for a number of years, where a guy would come in and just face 1 batter and try to get him out. Breaking ball that drops in at the knees, and the count is 0-1 to Shimizu. Shimizu 1 for 1 tonight. Had a single his last time up. As the right-hander Chang ready to deliver. Kicks and fires. Breaking ball swung on. Chop right back to the mound. Fields it easily. Flips it to first, and that is going to do it. It's a ground out 1-3 for the third out of the inning, and that will do it here for the Fighters in their half of the 4th inning. They get 2 runs in the inning. The big blow. A 2-run shot off the bat of Haruki Nishikawa. There was 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. Your score as we move to the bottom half of inning number 4. It is now a 3-0 lead for the Fighters over Chinese Taipei World Baseball Classic team. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few right after this timeout.
Me window
Well, you've got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 2, 3, and 4 hitters to come to bat here for Team Taiwan in the fourth inning. It'll be Yu Chang, Chi Hsien Chen, and Anko Lin. I was talking about things that can help speed the game up and things that can unnecessarily delay the game. And I was thinking about other things along the way. And one would be is the way the pitchers in Asia throw in front of the dugouts. The Asians, they get up and they throw and they play catch in between innings. The pitchers, that is. As we do have a pitching change, it's going to be Takumi Yamamoto coming in, as he will take over here. He only is 5'7". Just a little guy, but he does throw hard. Came to the Fighters from the Chinichi Dragons. In a trade a couple of years ago. So Yamamoto ready to deliver the first pitch. It's a fastball, take it for a called strike. So no balls and one strike to Yu Chang. Yu Chang flew out to left field his first time up. As the right-hander delivers, it is a breaking ball swung on and foul over on the first base side. The count quickly goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Bottom of the fourth inning. There's other action that's going to be going on here in the next couple of days with regards to the other teams that are playing. It was supposed to be a game between the Giants and the Czechs, and I see that was canceled. I don't know if that was because of rain or what the specific answer to that was. As that pitch had missed down to Chang, and the 1-2 pitch now coming from Yamamoto. Fastball swung on another one, tap foul on the third base side. Going off a little later today will be the Japanese of the Chinichi Dragons. Nicaragua will play Cuba at 4 o'clock Pacific tomorrow, 7 o'clock Eastern. The Japanese will again play the Chinichi Dragons. And there's a couple of other games that will go off later. There's a fastball swung on and missed. And that is going to retire Cheng for the first out of the inning. March the 1st, we'll see the Taiwanese play the Oryx Buffaloes farm team. And then the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks farm team will play the Australians, also on the 1st. Hanshin Tigers play the South Koreans on the 1st as well. Interesting to see how that would match up. As the pitch from Yamamoto on the way is a fastball that misses inside, count as 1-0. And then on March the 2nd at 1 in the morning, it'll be the Yomiuri Giants second team will play the Czechs, and then the Japanese will play the Oryx Buffaloes. Breaking ball misses down, the count goes to 2-0. March the 3rd, it'll be the Hawks and Chinese Taipei again. Hawks, that's their second team. Yomiuri Giants, second team in Australia. Fastball misses inside. Count goes to 3-0 here on Chen. So the Buffaloes will play the Koreans. 7 o'clock on Pacific Coast time, 10 o'clock Eastern. So check your local times. So there's a fastball ticket for a called strike. And Japan will close out their exhibition play with the Hanshin Tigers on March the 3rd. I'll go off at 2 in the morning, Pacific 5 a.m. We'll try to get on the call for that one. That could be entertaining. As the pitch on the way is a fastball swung on. It's going to be grounded through the 4-hole into right field. And Chen is aboard. That's the first hit of the ball game for the Taiwanese with one out here in the fourth inning. Bring up Anko Lin to the plate. And then we flip over to North America. There'll be a lot of exhibition games North America on March the 3rd, the 4th, the 5th, between major league teams and the teams that will be in the pools in the United States. I'll try to pick up a few of those ones for you as well, as we'll be making the calls. And then all the action gets going for real just a little bit after that on, I believe, March the 5th. So a fastball swung on and missed by Anko Lin. Count is quickly 0-1. Lin today popped out to first, his only trip to the plate. So no balls and 1 strike. Lin batting from the left side. 1 gone here, 1 on in inning number 4 as the right-hander Yamamoto holds set. Now delivers. There's a fastball swung through and missed, and the count now goes to 0-2. I will say this, Yamamoto, for a little guy, and we said it at the outset, has a lot of giddy up on the ball. He is really, really built in his lower half. When I look at him, I think of, if baseball wasn't his sport, I wonder if he could have been a hockey player, depending if he was in the right environment. Really thick legs, really, really solid. Pitch on the way, fastball misses in. It's now 1-2 to Lin. It's a good pitch to back him off the plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes. If you ever get to a game in Taiwan, it's a very interesting atmosphere with the cheerleaders dancing on the dugouts. Fastball swung on and missed, and Lin is going to be retired on strikes. He's gone for the 2nd out of the inning. That's going to leave it all up to the first baseman and Ning-Ting Wu. Yesterday, the starters for Taiwan were left in pretty much for most of the ball game. It wasn't until they got into the 8th and 9th innings where they started to pinch hit, but the regulars got their solid run out. I would expect probably in the next inning or so that the fighters will start moving to their bench. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. I don't think Wu shared the same view of that pitch as the home plate umpire. So no balls and 1 strike as the right-hander kicks and fires. There's a breaking ball swung on. This ball's lined into right center field. It's going to get down for a base hit. Rounding second and heading to third is the runner Chen. And Ning-Ting Wu has got himself a single. That's his 2nd hit of the Ready for the Classic series. So they go first to third with 2 gone. It's going to bring up Kun Yu Chang to the plate. Ning-Ting Wu, he's fairly decent hitter. He plays for the TSG Hawks. I saw him last year play for the Hawks. And he's very workmanlike. And I can understand why the Lions had him in their lineup a couple of years ago, because there were times that he would be very serviceable. He doesn't have a lot of power, but he does get good bat to ball, and he was decent at times in the NPB. So runners on the corners. 2 gone here in the 4th inning. 3-0 lead for the Fighters. Yamamoto delivers. Fastball swung on, rolled to short. And they go to second for the fielder's choice. It's going to retire Wu. It's a fielder's choice, 6-4 for the 3rd out of the inning. And that is going to do it here in inning number 4. Well, they threatened, but they don't score as Team Taiwan. They had no runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 runners left aboard. Their scores were through 4 complete. It is the Fighters with a 3-0 lead. Stick around, everybody. The top of the 5th is just around the corner, and we'll be right back to call it for you right after this musical timeout. We got a 3-0 scoreline as the Fighters are enjoying themselves a healthy lead here. We'll be back in just a few with all the action right after this stoppage from our friend Steve Rademacher. Check him out after the channel. It's Steve giving us some props.
Hello, guys. Thank you for joining Freddie here on his baseball game. And I'm Steve Rademacher, and my channel is really all about everybody. including all my international friends. We have such stuff as non-sport packs from Canada, the OP Cheese. We have the Greek Freak. We have money from around the world. We have lira. We have yen. We have francs. We have pounds. We have Deutschmarks. We have all kinds of cool stuff like that. We even have some cooler things like Japanese women wrestlers and OP-Chi baseball cards where I cannot read the back. We even have unopened material like the royal family, I know it's backwards, from London, England. Thank you for watching. Back to Freddie.
Welcome back, everybody. They got this massive, huge blow-up ball in the stands that people are pushing around, and like the old days of the beach balls in Wrigley Field and other places. And it is getting knocked around. But what it looks like, if you've been to Taiwan, it looks like the Taipei 101 ball. As we do have what looks to be a new pitcher on the mound here for the Taiwanese. The first pitch fastball delivered to Tatsuki Mizuno is a fastball that misses up and away for ball one. So 1 ball and no strikes. There's a breaking ball that misses way upstairs. The count now goes to 2-0. The new pitcher on the hill here for the Taiwanese, and I don't have a number for him at all. It's number 16, and we've got nothing for him as that fastball is swung on and fouled away, and the count goes to 2-1. So we don't have anything on the main roster page. So I'll have to go and take a look and see if this is one of those support players. Pitch on the way, fastball misses down. Count now goes to 3 balls and a strike. They gave us these starters, and they've been a little slow in giving us everything else after that. Here comes the 2-2 offering. And I thought it was 3. Now it's 3-2. They had a little bit different. Who do we have here? It says not clear. Yeah, that's exactly who it is. Not clear, number 16. Not clear to us either. As the pitcher here on the way, 3-2 delivery. It's a fastball swung on, and it's fouled away, and the count goes to 3-2. Maybe they got out on the main drag and hauled somebody in and said, hey, we need you to throw tonight. So 3 balls and 2 strikes it is, as the left-handed hitting Mizuno waits, and it's a fastball swung on and missed. And that is going to put Mizuno in the books for the first out of the inning. So 1 gone here. As I mentioned before, there were a couple of players that have been left off. I would say left off the roster, but have been injured and been taken off the roster. But at the same time, also, we've had some support challenges. As we said, they've given even the Japanese team has had extra players used. As the pitch on the way as a breaking ball swung on, is grounded up the middle. Its ball's got eyes into center field, and Shun Mizutani's got himself a base hit. A 1-out single here in the 5th, and that'll bring up Chusei Minami to the plate. And whether we look at Sports Navi, whether we look at World Baseball Classic roster, it's not telling us much of anything on who player number 16 is. Or Wikipedia or anything else. Here comes Minami to the plate, and the first pitch to him is a fastball swung on. It is lifted into deep center field. This ball could be trouble, and this ball is going to be gone. It's going to be a 2-run shot as Minami golfs it into the seats. And maybe it's better that the Taiwanese don't share who the name is. It is D.M. Lee who is on the hill, and he has served up a 2-run shot to Minami to increase the scoreline to 5-0. And the beatdown is in full effect here now in Taipei City. Boy, that ball, it wasn't actually a bad pitch. The pitch was down around the ankles, and it looked like that Minami had got his 9-iron out and just hammered it right into the seats. And that brings Franmil Reyes to the plate, and he swings through a breaking ball, and the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to him. Lee delivers a center cut fastball. It's taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. There's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lifted into right field. Moving over to his right and making the catch is the right fielder Chi Hsien-chen. Reyes is going to be gone for the second out of the inning, and that's going to leave it all up to the third baseman, Yuya Gunji. Well, for Gunji tonight, he got the party started back in the top of the second inning when he hit a leadoff home run. As the pitch on the way as a breaking ball misses upstairs, the count is 1-0. Gunji tonight has scored 2 of the 5 Fighters runs. He has homered, he has walked, and scored both times, obviously. There's a fastball that misses down and in, and the count goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Just had a little bit of a lapse here in our feed. It's been a pretty decent feed at times, and then every once in a while it ends up going sideways on us, so hopefully we don't lose this for long. As that looks like it is going to do it there, as Gunji is going to pop out to end the inning. As they have a little bit of a chuckle and a joke between the players, and that will do it here. Well, the big piece here is as he flies out to left field as Gunji. It's the 2-run homer off the bat at Chusei Manami, as he has brought home Mizutani to give the Fighters a 5-0 lead. 2 runs in the inning on the benefit of 2 hits. There was no errors and there was nobody left aboard. Your scores, we move to the bottom of the 5th. We are halfway through this one. It is 5-0 for the Fighters. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back in just a few right after some of these technical glitches are ironed out. Glad you could be here with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Nothing scoreline as we move to the bottom half of inning number 5. The Taiwanese are going to need some instant runs. They haven't scored in 13 innings in this 2-game mini set, and that doesn't bode well for the Classic, which is about to be upon us in the next couple of days. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be right back after this timeout. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be Lin, and Chen to come to bat here in the bottom half of inning number 5. As the Fighters have gone to the bullpen as they are brought out another arm. It is going to be number 28. That is Ryusuke Kawano. Kawano does his best impersonations of Nestor Cortez, the left-hander here. He's got all kinds of leg kicks and everything else. As there's another fastball that misses up and away, and the count is 2-0. He has had success for the Fighters out of their bullpen in the past. As the lefty ready to go again. Third pitcher used by the manager Shinjo tonight as he swings through a fastball, does Lin. And that is going to make the scoreline 2 balls and 1 strike to Lyle Lynn. Lefty again, ready to deliver. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung through and missed. The count now goes to 2-2 on Lyle Lynn. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Zue Lin and Chen-Wei Chen to follow here as the lefty Kawano gets the sign from his catcher Shimizu. Rocks himself into the windup and delivers. Fastball misses down, and the count now goes to 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. 50-50 on whether or not we are going to be on the airwaves a little bit later. We'll make that decision depending on how the outcome of this game goes. We might look at doing that Japan game against the Dragons. There's a fastball swung on and missed. And Lin is gone for the second time on strikes tonight. He's out for out number 1, and that'll bring up the second baseman in Zue Lin. The thing that's in my way is the fact that it's the Chinichi Dragons who the Samurai Japan are playing. I don't know if I'm excited for that. Might be more excited for a matchup later in the week, of course, as the pitch is on the way. There's a breaking ball that drops in, called strike. 2 balls and 1 strike. Also, the ABS system. I'd like to see how the ABS system is going to work as the pitch is ready to go. There's a breaking ball down. Count goes to 1-1. I'd also like to see how many. I know all of a sudden, the umpires are not winning against the ABS. I think that would be an interesting graphic. Which umpire do they have to go to the ABS more often to have to correct? And there's a fastball that's taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 1-2. So I think some of that would be interesting as well, those type of stats. Are they going to be able to determine what umpires are better than others? There's a fastball swung on and fouled away. Wonder how Angel Hernandez would have made out in the ABS era. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. As Lynn here waiting on the offering. I had a buddy of mine who worked the last World Baseball Classic, and he was partnered, or he was on the same crew as Angel Hernandez, as that breaking ball misses down and away. And he said Hernandez was a great guy. He said all the other umpires loved him. But just because you're well-liked amongst your peers doesn't necessarily mean you are a good umpire. 2-2 pitch down. Lin swings at it, and they're going to have to throw him out at first base as Shimizu would drop the ball. It's a strikeout, 2-3 on the putout for the second out of the inning. It's going to leave it up to the left fielder in Chen-Wei Chen. But yeah, he had nothing but good things to say about Angel Hernandez. Well, it is Chen-Wei Chen coming to the bat. He had struck out looking his first time up. And after this half inning is concluded, we will do what we've been doing, and that'll be like the Japanese halftime as we saw the other night, or the Asian halftime, as they do take a 5-minute break in between innings here. And the first pitch on the way as it is delivered here to Chen-Wei Chen. And we've just been in a spot here where it's just been a little bit over time here where things are getting caught up, and it's a fastball swung on and is lifted into left field. Moving over toward the foul line is Mizutani. He's there to make the catch, and that is going to do it as Chen is gone for the third out of the inning, and the Taiwanese go quietly once again. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left aboard. We are now through 5 complete. Your score is the Hokkaido Nippon-Ham Fighters with a 5-0 lead. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple of moments. We'll put the music on loop. I can't get to the hot button quick enough when I got the hiccups, and we'll try to get those under control in just a moment. We'll be back with the top of the 6th when we return right after this timeout.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. It's not going to be the 5-minute break that we normally get in between innings as the hitter, Rookie Nishikawa, has gone down on strikes. It was a 1-2 pitch as the reliever, Ali, is still in the ball game. So DM Lee still on in relief. He's in for his second inning of work. So one in the books here as he has put away Nishikawa for out number one. That is going to bring up Naoki Arizono to the plate, who is 0 for 2 tonight. Getting the start at first base, he has struck out and grounded out in his 2 trips, and he hammers that one foul just past the third base coach's box, and the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. We'll have to keep our eyes peeled if there's any more changes along the way. As the right-hander Lee Roxanne delivers, there's a fastball that runs inside, and the count now goes to a ball and a strike. Last night, the Team Taiwan did use a lot of relievers, so I'm curious to know what they have left here for tonight, as there is a fastball that misses down in the dirt, and they've got it at 2-2. I've only got it at 2-1, but we'll see if they went out or we went out. Right-hander Lee ready to go again. He gets the sign from his catcher. There's a new catcher back there, too, as it looks like that. Wow, Lynn's night is done. Fastball swung on, popped up. Shallow left field. Moving back is the shortstop, but he's going to get called off by the left fielder who comes in to make the grab, and that is Chen. Chen had to come a long way, but he was able to make the grab, and that is going to do it here as Arizona has gone for the second out of the inning. That's going to leave it up to the second baseman in Taiki Narama. Well, for Narama, he is 1 for 2 tonight. He singled his last time up. He's also grounded back to the pitcher, and he takes a fastball for a called strike. You could tell he didn't like the call as he sort of stood up and looked back at the home plate umpire. Some of the reactions are just awesome in Asia. They don't say a whole lot, but their body language does all the talking for them as that fastball misses up and the count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Right-hander Roxanne delivers again. There's a breaking ball waved at and missed. Count now goes to 1-2. Don't know much about the reliever here, but I do like the way that he pitches. Yeah, he's got a very smooth delivery. There is a cutter that just misses off the outside corner, and the count now runs even to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Easily be a big fan. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is going to be lifted foul into the seats down the right field line. Count remains at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. We'll start setting up some streams for the World Baseball Classic beginning next week as that fastball swung on and lifted foul. Not sure 100% which games we're going to do. A lot of them are going to dictate on time. As the 2-2 pitch is on the way, there's a fastball swung on. It's grounded up the middle. It's going to get all the way into center field, and Narama is going to be aboard with his second hit of the night, a 2-out single, and that's going to bring up the catcher in Yushi Shimizu. As we mentioned, everything all gets going. Actually, in North American time will be the 4th, but it'll be the 5th. The Taiwanese And Australia at 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 Pacific, going at the Tokyo Dome. It's on March the 4th, but that would be at a different time. It looks like the manager Seng has come out. That might be the end of the line for Lee here. I'm not 100% sure if we're going to see Lee anymore. That is, his night is over. We're going to have a pitching change. Strange that they wouldn't let him go for one more batter. It is going to be Yushi Shimizu slated to come to the plate. Lee, his night is done. He gets some high fives. We'll find out who's coming in a moment, and we'll return in just a few after this pitching change.
Hey, where are you going? It's a pitching change. Come on, sit back down. You don't go out there. Don't go get no food or anything. You've got a big decision. Are you gonna throw in there Raleigh Fingers? Maybe Goose Gossage? How about maybe Mariano Rivera or Lee Smith, Dennis Eckersley? Who knows? It's a pitching change. Come on back. You know who I would pick for this? A nice tall cool one. There's my pitcher. That's my pitching change. That's a winning combination. Come see my channel. You know, every day is opening day. And according to Bob, I must be in the front row. Blah.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be a pitching change. They're going to the bullpen. It is a right-hander, Yi Lei Sun, who is coming in. Number 96, as he will take over in this one. So Sun completing his tune-up tosses. And we are ready to resume the action as he will be facing Yushi Shimizu, who comes to the plate. 1 for 2 tonight for Shimizu. Curious to see if and when the Fighters are going to start emptying their bench at some point, or if this is already the case. It looks like it is still Shimizu. We'll have to do a double take, and it does look like it is still the catcher of choice. So the right-hander ready to go. He kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on and missed. They throw down to first, and diving back safely is the runner, Narama. The ball's 1 strike it is. So really this Fighters lineup, when you think about it, no Kotaro Kiyomiya in the lineup at this point here tonight. As the pitch on the way, there's a fastball swung through and missed. The count is 0-2. Other players who I might have expected to see in the lineup tonight, maybe the catcher Yua Tamiya. He's not in the lineup here. We haven't seen Rodolfo Castro as they throw over to first base, and diving back in time is Narama. Shu Yamagata is another one. Maybe we would see maybe Daigo Kawabata. And then in the outfield positions, possibly Daiki Asama or Ryo Isabata, one of those two. As there was a pitch swung on and fouled away right off the mask of the home plate umpire. So we're going to need a moment here as the home plate umpire needs to adjust himself. I was curious to see where Nishikawa has landed. Nishikawa, once upon a time, and that's where it's familiar. He was with the Hokkaido Nippon-Ham Fighters up until at the end of the 2021 season, when then he signed on with the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. As that pitch misses down, and the count is 1-2. So almost a homecoming for Nishikawa. He went to the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. He didn't have a particularly good year and change there. Then he signed on with the Swallows. As there's a fastball swung on, grounded to short. They flip it to second for the fielder's choice, and that is going to do it. As that'll erase Narama at second. So it's a fielder's choice. 6-4 on the putout to retire Narama for the third out of the inning, and that is going to do it. No runs in the inning. There was a hit, no errors, and there was one runner left aboard. We are now moving to the bottom half of inning number 6. Your score is the Fighters 5 and Team Taiwan no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple of moments with all the action after this musical timeout. Right after this. Stay with us.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball. Welcome back, everybody. We have ourselves a pitching change as they are going to the bullpen yet again are the Fighters. We're just waiting on confirmation as we can get that too. We're just talking about the outfielder Haruki Nishikawa, who had been with the Fighters, and then he had taken his act to Tohoku, and last year he was with the Tokyo's Yakult Swallows. Of course, the Swallows were not a very good ball club. It is going to be number 41. This is Koji Fukutani coming in relief. I have a feeling we're going to see a parade here out of the Fighters pen from here on out. So Koji Fukutani on in relief as he will take over here to begin the bottom of the 6th inning. So Fukutani ready to go. Are we ready to go? I guess we're going to have to find out. We've been finding it a bit of a slog and a struggle tonight with regards to the feed and the consistency of it. It's no balls and 1 strike here to the leadoff hitter, Sung, and there's a fastball swung on and grounded foul. Count is quickly 0-2. It's the top of the order, Sung, Cheng, and Chen. So Cheng Rui, Sung, Yu Chang, and Chi Xian Chen to come to bat here to face the right-hander. The balls and 2 strikes as he kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball down. They appeal over to first base, but they say he didn't go, and it's going to run the count to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Right-hander ready to go again. As he works to the set, there's a fastball that comes inside. They appeal over to the first base umpire, but this time they said that Song went around, and he's going to go down on strikes for the first out of the inning. So 1 away here. We'll get a look at the replay ourselves. Yeah, pretty hard to defend that one. He went all the way around for sure. Unable to hold up, and that is going to bring Yu Cheng to the plate. So the right-hander ready to go. As he kicks and delivers, there's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep right center field, giving chase. And this ball is going to be off the wall as Cheng is rounded first, headed to second with a double. And they get that back in. So the first extra base hit tonight for Team Taiwan. And it's Yu Cheng who smokes the ball the other way. Good piece of hitting by him. He's got himself a 1-out double. That's going to bring Chi Xian Chen to the plate. Gets the Taiwanese supporters out of their seats. Good piece of hitting there by the big fella. Ball went about halfway up the wall. So we got a runner at second, and it is Chi Xian Chen coming to the dish. He's 1 for 2 in this one. The right-hander kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Right-hander holds to the set position. Here comes the pitch. It's a fastball swung on. It's chopped over to short. Check Cheng back to the bag at second. They're going to gun Chen down at first on a ground out 6-3. He's in the books for the second out of the inning, and that's going to leave it up to An Ko Lin. An Ko Lin getting the start as the designated hitter tonight. 0 for 2 in this one. He has popped to first, and he has struck out in his 2 trips to the plate. We were talking about it last night, and earlier tonight he has signed on with the Saitama Cebu Lions. Left-handed stick, and there's time has been called here. I have to reset the pitch clock. It looked like the clock had come to a halt. So the right-hander ready to go as he works himself to the belt. Kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on. It is going to be lifted foul into the seats behind home plate. Count is quickly 0-1 to Lynn. Lynn tonight is 0 for 2. He has popped to first and he has struck out in his 2 trips to the plate. Right-hander ready to go again. Fastball just misses inside. Count now even at 1-1 to Lynn. Right-hander Fukutami rubs up the baseball. He's ready to go back at it. 1 ball and 1 strike. Lynn is going to be seeing the Fighters regularly during the season, so you might as well get an early look at some of the arms now. There's a fastball swung on and hammered foul down the right field line. Count 1-2 to Lynn. Curious to see how that lineup for the Lions is going to shape up. With Watanabe, who was a rookie last year, he'll be back in the lineup. And, of course, the addition of Anko Lynn. And I think they had Alex Canario also signed, but I'm not sure what the plans are for him. Tyler Nevin back in the fold. So we have I don't know if we have a violation on the pitch count or clock, or they have to reset it. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is. As the pitcher ready to go here, Hunter Yu Chang at second base. There's a fastball that just misses off the outside corner. The pitcher, Fukutani, was making his way to the third base dugout, but the home plate umpire wasn't buying it. He didn't go up with the right hand. So 2 balls and 2 strikes it is. Tanny working himself to the set. Anko Lynn waiting on the delivery. They're coming inside. Pitch on the way. Missed his spot, and it swung on and fouled away over on the third base side. That was a bad miss by the pitcher. The catcher had set up on the inside corner of the plate, and he missed out over the plate. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. As the righty ready to deliver, the pitch on the way is a fastball that misses down, and the count goes to 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Waiting his turn on deck is Ning-Ting Wu, who's got a hit in this ball game tonight, and he's got 2 on the series. So 3 balls and 2 strikes to Lynn. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on, popped up, and another one's going to reach the seats foul, this time on the third base side. It's turning into a bit of an epic battle. It's going to be the 8th pitch of the at-bat coming up as Yu Chang retreats back to second base to retouch. And we'll do it all over again as the right-hander again leans in. 2 gone here in the 6th. Yu Chang on at second base. And the 3-2 pitch coming to Lynn. As it's delivered, a fastball swung on the inside, outs it the other way. This ball's going to get down. Mizutani's going to field it. And coming home to score the first run for Taiwan, the first run in 14 2/3 innings is Yu Chang. And finally, they are on the board. It is now a 5-1 ball game. It's going to be an RBI single off the bat of Anko Lynn. That'll bring Ning-Ting Wu to the plate. So this breathes a little bit of life into the game. They got their first point after how many innings? That was a changeup from Fukutani that he left up at the letters, and Anko Lynn made no mistake. Mizutani had to come a long way, but as that ball was floated in over just down the left field line. So this brings Wu to the plate with a runner at first. Pitch on the way is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes to Wu. But it's got the fans excited again. I know the dancing and the cheering has been going on since the get-go, but now they are in full gear. Pitch on the way. It is a fastball at the knees taken for a called strike, and the count goes even to 1-1 on Wu. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Right-hander against the left-hander. As he works himself to the set position, here comes the offering. Fastball swung on. This ball is driven into deep left center field, racing over, but with room to make the catch and hauling it in is the center fielder Nishikawa. And that is going to do it as Wu is going to be retired for the third out of the inning. And that will do it here for Team Taiwan. Well, they get on the scoreboard. They break the ice. They had 1 run in the inning on the benefit of 2 hits. There was no errors and 1 runner left aboard. We are now through 6 complete. Your score is the Fighters 5 and Team Taiwan 1. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple of moments with all the action after this musical time out. Welcome back, everybody. The cheerleaders for the Hokkaido Nippon-Ham Fighters are putting on their show here between the bottom of the 6th and the top of the 7th inning. As they are clearing the field, we are about ready to resume action. Slated to come to bat for the Fighters, it's going to be the 9, 1, and 2 hitters in the batting order. It's supposed to be Mizuno, Mizutani, and Manami. We'll have to keep our eyes peeled to see if the manager Shinjo is going to make any substitutions. Well, we'll have to see how that plays out here. And so we are ready to resume the action. Also taking a look to see, it does look like we have a new pitcher on the mound, and there is a new hitter at the plate as that fastball swung on. It is lined in right center field. That's going to get down for a base hit. And rounding first and heading into second. And that looks like it is the pinch hitter, obviously, for, I don't know if that's Shu Yamagata. That's exactly who it is. Shu Yamagata with a double. That's a hustle double for him. Get that ball into right center field as he is taking over for Tatsuki Mizuno. So Shu Yamagata aboard with a hustle hit. And that is going to bring up to the plate Shin Mizutani, who takes a first pitch fastball up for ball 1. We do have a pitching change for the Taiwanese as well, as we'll get that for you in just a moment. Pitch on the way. It is a fastball swung through and missed. Actually, it is still Yi Lee Sun on the hill. So Yi Lee Sun, who came on to retire the last hitter of the last inning, he is hanging around here for another inning of work. Pitch on the way. There's a split finger pitch swung on and missed. The count now goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Mizutani. Lots of baseball action ahead on the channel. As we mentioned, it is going to be the World Baseball Classic time over the next couple of weeks. Hopefully be able to give you as many calls as we can. There's a fastball swung on. It is grounded foul over on the first base side. Count remains at 1-2 to Mizutani. Looking forward to all the action, especially the finals. We'll try to get that one taken care of as well. There's a fastball that misses up and in. Count goes to 2-2. There will be a chance that I will be out of town, so I'll try to do some of that as well. once those games get going, I get a chance to see what happens and where the games are going to be played. The tournament all wraps up, I believe, on Tuesday the 17th. There's the pitch on the way. It is a fastball swung on and lifted foul. And it goes by pretty quick. We're looking at some of the games. As that fastball reaches the seats, 2 balls and 2 strikes. It remains to Mizutani. There's a spot in the pool play where the Czechs just don't get any love. Fastball misses up. They got to play the Koreans. And then they got to double back, and they got to play the next day. They got to play like it's a night game and then a day game, I think is how it works. And then they got to turn back and play the Australians the very next day. Might as well just pull out of bed and sleep at the Tokyo Dome. Don't even get a hotel if you're on a budget. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Fastball swung on and missed, and Mizutani's in the books. He's gone for the first out of the inning. Blew it right by him, and that's going to bring Chusei Minami to the plate. It's also interesting. I've heard at times who they've announced who the starters are going to be in some cases, and they're saying that it's going to be Shohei Ohtani is going to get the nod against the Koreans. There's a first pitch fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Minami. I'd like to see that matchup go right after the Koreans, but they haven't announced who's going to go against the Taiwanese. Pitch on the way. Fastball taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. I would think it really doesn't matter who you throw out against the Czechs or the Australians. I think they're in trouble no matter what. There's a ground ball chopped over the head of the pitcher. They're going to have to hurry. Fielded by the shortstop, Chang, who throws to first, but he's not going to be able to get the speedy Minami, who's able to get down the line. It's going to be an infield single. Advancing over to third is Yamagata, and that is going to bring Franmil Reyes to the plate. So the Franmil coming to the dish. He's 0 for 3. He has flown out to right field twice, and he has struck out in his first 3 trips. Curious, keep our eye on Miami here to see if they try to stay out of the double play. Reyes is not particularly the most fleet of foot. Or do we have a pinch hitter here? It is. It's going to be Rodolfo Castro. So Reyes' day is done. It's going to be Rodolfo Castro coming to the plate. Castro, who was once considered a top prospect in the Fighters organization as he swings and fouls that pitch away. In the Pittsburgh Pirates organization. Probably the bigger claim to fame for Castro was sliding into third base and having his cell phone fall out of his pocket. That was his big claim to fame. Well, Castro now hitting for Reyes, swings through a fastball, and the count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Our friend JC says, any predictions for the World Baseball Classic? I would say the 3 teams, of course, are the Americans, the Japanese, and I think the Dominicans. I think the Dominicans are rolling out a heck of a team this year. And so there's a changeup that is swung on and missed. The catcher running to the dugout as if it's the 3rd out of the inning. I don't know where he's going. It's only 2 outs on our clock. Castro is gone for the 2nd out of the inning, and that'll leave it up to the 3rd baseman in Yuya Gunji. So I would hazard a guess. I mean, I understand that and I don't understand this, but I understand the Americans are going to throw skoo ball in one game in the tournament. I heard it's like against Great Britain. So what's the point? You know, you're going to face Great Britain with skoo ball. I mean, you could probably roll out some guy from AAA and be able to do just as well, especially with the lineup that the Americans can roll out. With that being said, I think that the lineup that the Dominicans have, especially with their pitching staff and everything else, that is a team that is going to be very, very dangerous if I look at their roster, and as an example, you've got a former Cy Young Award winner in Sandy Alcantara, or Alcantara, however he wishes to enunciate it. You know, Christopher Sanchez, who had an outstanding year last year, that's a pretty good 1-2 punch. You also go with Brian Bello from the Boston Red Sox. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away by Gunji. Pitch on the way, and it's a fastball swung through and missed. Now it's 0-2 to Gunji. And then the bullpen, when you look at the names that you could throw out, Camilo Doval, Sir Anthony Dominguez, Gregory Soto, Abner Uribe. They also have Luis Severino as a starter as well. That's very formidable as that fastball misses upstairs. And then as far as a team is concerned, the firepower in the lineup, well, I mean, Austin Wells is the catcher, Yankees. And then, of course, you got Junior Caminero, Vladdy Guerrero, Manny Machado, got Jeremy Pena, Geraldo Perdomo. It's unbelievable. That's just the infield. As the pitch on the way as a fastball swung on, it's popped up, going to reach the seats foul. In the outfield with Fernando Tatis, Juan Soto, and Julio Rodriguez. And you got O'Neill Cruz and Johan Rojas coming off the bench. Unbelievable. So I would think the Dominican are going to in the conversation, as is Team Japan, as is the Americans. But I would like to see the American Stars stuck around for a little bit more than one start. As that fastball is in the dirt. A nice stop there by the catcher. It's now 2-2. Venezuela, I'm not sure what Venezuela is going to have to offer. They're going to be tough. I'm sure they could potentially upset somebody. But I just don't see the Venezuelans, of course, what's going on down in what I would say in South America these days. There's a fastball swung on it. It's hammered back to the pitcher, and it's off his foot. It comes back into foul territory where it's going to get picked up. Yamagata is going to come in to score as the pitcher jumps up and down about 4 or 5 times to signal that he's okay. Trainer is out to come and see him. But Gunji's going to get himself another RBI. He's going to drive home Yamagata with the 6th run of the ball game. Have to see if Manami stayed at second. Boy, that ball was scorched off the bat of Gunji. Hit so hard it came all the way back past the foul line. Only stopping at second is Manami. So runners at first and second. But out of precautionary reasons, that looks like it is going to be the end of the night for Yi Lee Sun. They'll take them down and have them looked at. They got a reliever coming in. There's 2 aboard, 2 gone, and it's supposed to be Haruki Nishikawa coming to the plate. Stick around, everybody. We'll take a little time out, and we'll come back in just a couple of moments on the Last Rouse Baseball YouTube channel, Pitching Change, with our good friend Steve Rademacher. Hang tight, everybody.
Hello, everybody. And you know why we're here? Well, of course you do. You'd be nuts not to be here to watch Freddie call another game. Freddie, the king of kings on baseball commentary. You know what? Come to think of it, with Freddie, there's absolutely nothing hotter than listening to him broadcast. Not even the Reaper Triple X puckered butt squeezing hot sauce. We'll just give it a whirl here. All right, Freddie. Cheers. Holy cow, that may be a close second to you, Freddie. Still the hottest broadcast right now on YouTube. Peace out. Call a great game.
Welcome back, everybody. The Taiwanese have gone back to their bullpen. It's going to be Kwon Yu Chen who is coming on in relief. The left-hander has completed his tune-up tosses. As we are ready to resume the action, he'll be the 5th pitcher used by the Taiwanese here tonight, as that is the end of the night for the other reliever, Yu Lee Sun. So Chen on in relief. And it is supposed to be Haruki Nishikawa stepping in, and that's exactly who it is, the 33-year-old. His return to the Fighters lineup. I remember he was Player of the Month with the Tohoku Rakuten Gold Eagles in 2023. in the first month of the season as that fastball misses up and in, and it was just pretty much a straight slide downward after that. Our friend JC says, Taiwan's team is ranked second. You don't think they have a chance? There's a breaking ball that's taken for a called strike. That would be correct. And I'll say it this way. I think that what I do think they could do is they could sneak into the playoff round, because the top two teams come out of each group as that breaking ball misses down and away. I think that the Koreans could potentially get knocked out. That'll be the deciding game, the Koreans and Taiwan. That is where it's going to come down to. So they get to the next round. I do like some of the pitchers. They just don't have enough depth. As that pitch misses down, it's now 3-1. As I said, I saw the pitcher last year when I was at the Taipei Dome who got the start last night for the Hawks, and that would have been Joe Siu. And boy, he is something special to watch. There's a fastball that misses inside. It's now ball 4. That's going to advance everybody up a base. Gunji's going to go to second. Miami's going to go to third. So what do I think? I think that, you've got a couple arms there that are pretty decent. There's also a couple other arms we haven't seen. Yu-Min Lin was with the Diamondback organization. He's pretty special as well. I haven't seen him yet. I'd like to see him in action. He's only, I think, AA or AAA, but he got a chance to pitch in the Premier 12 tournament. Premier 12 tournament is definitely not what the World Baseball Classic is in terms of caliber of talent. First pitch is a strike, and we have a pinch hitter here for Arizona, as his day is done. So no balls and 1 strike. I'll have to pick up the number here as I can. And we're back into where we're fighting the feeds here. This feed has been pretty decent tonight. As there's a ball that is swung on and fouled away down the right field line, and the count goes to 0-2. Almost look like it's Yua Tamiya, but I can't get the jersey number at this point. It is Yua Tamiya at the plate. Here comes the 0-2 offering. It's a changeup that misses upstairs. Count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes as the left-hander holds. And now he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses up and in, and the count goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. And it's not a knock on Taiwan. I really enjoy watching the way that they're coming along with producing players. I'd like to see Hao-Yu Lee. I really want to get him in the action. As I mentioned yesterday, he was with the Tigers in the split squad game yesterday, and so I wonder if he's going to join the squad. As there's a fastball that swung through and missed. Tamiya is down on strikes. He's gone for the 3rd out of the inning. Well, they add a run to the tally, and they threaten for more, but only come away with the 1. 1 run in the inning on the benefit of 3 hits. There was no errors and 3 runners left aboard. We are moving to the bottom half of inning number 7. It is now a 6-1 lead for the Fighters. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments after this rendition of Take Me Out to the Ball Game. Hang around. We'll be right back.
You've got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole.
Welcome back, everybody. The Fighters are going to their bullpen as they are calling on a left-handed reliever. It's going to be number 20, Kenta Uehara, on in relief here. And the first pitch that Uehara has delivered was taken for a called strike, and there's a fastball swung on, and that's going to be lifted foul down the right field line, and the count is 0-2 now to Kunyu Chang. It'll be Chang, then the catcher's position, and then it'll be Zhuwei Lin. Yes, there is a fastball that's taken for a called third strike. Oh, the home plate umpire lost track of the count. So did the hitter, and he stood there, and they were throwing it around where the Fighters, as Chang is gone looking for out number 1 here in the 7th inning. He didn't give what I would call pull the chain of the third strike. He just sort of went up with the right hand, and the hitter just sort of stood there, and he was like, I thought we were still batting. Well, that is going to bring up to the plate the catcher. It is going to be Xiaohong Chang. Chang split the duties last night with Lin. And there is a breaking ball catching the outside corner, and the count goes to 1-1. So the veteran getting any opportunity again to play. There is a fastball that is swung through and missed, and the count now goes to 1-2. Now, one of the things you noticed, or I noticed last night, is the difference between the Japanese pitching, and again, the club teams are playing against the Taiwanese team here. You're struggling against the club teams and their pitchers. There's a fastball swung on and grounded up the middle. It's going to be a base hit, and that is going to be a single. There's just a plethora of talent in Japan, just as there is in the United States and elsewhere. You could take a club team in and go and beat up on the national team of Taiwan. I know it's an exhibition game. I know there's not much on the line. I know that there's teams that are playing, but you could just see the difference in the pitching at the moment. But with that being said, I think that with the starter tonight, if they piggybacked starters such as Gu Lin and Zhou Xiu in a elimination game, you could see them get all the way to the semifinals potentially, as that breaking ball misses down and the count goes to 1-0 to Zhuwei Lin. They're also going to have some luck on their side. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count goes to 1-1. I'd also have to say that you can't bang with these bigger clubs. You're going to have to bunt. You're going to have to hit and run. You're going to have to do the little things to potentially win yourself a baseball game. There was a fastball that swung on and it fell right into the feet of the hitter, Lin, and the count goes to 1-2. So if you think you're going to go and pound with the Venezuelans or the Dominicans or the Americans or even the Japanese, I think you've got another thing coming. You're going to have to play some small ball. You're going to have to nickel and dime it. You're going to have to play good defense. You're going to have good pitching, and you can't walk batters. And that was the problem with last night with Team Taiwan, the amount of walks. Breaking ball waved at and missed, and Lin is gone for the second out of the inning. So 2 gone here with the runner at first, and that is going to bring up the left fielder in Chen Wei Chen. Or it's Chen Wei Chen coming to the plate. So left-hander against the left-hander. The first pitch on the way is a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Chen getting the nod in left field here tonight. As the lefty delivers, Uehara takes a little something off that breaking ball as Chen swings through it, and the count now is 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. There's a fastball swung on, is chopped over to short. They thought about going to second, but Yamagata throws to first, and that is going to retire Chen on a ground out 6-3. Mike Cool hooks back in the house. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and there was 1 runner left aboard. We are now through 7 complete. Your score is the Hokkaido Nippon-Ham Fighters 6 and Team Taiwan 1. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple of moments. We'll offer our thoughts as this game continues on. It is a 6-1 game for the Fighters. We'll be right back after this. Your score as we move to the top of inning number 8, it is the Hokkaido Nippon-Ham Fighters with a 6-1 lead over the Chinese Taipei World Baseball Classic team. We'll be back in just a couple of moments after this musical timeout. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be slated to come to bat for the Fighters in inning number 8, the bottom third of the batting order. It's supposed to be Narama, Shimizu, and Yamagata. Another thing I was looking at was their commenting yesterday, as it looks like the home plate umpire has either had to go get some repairs. He's had a couple issues with his gear over there. I know he had a foul tip that he caught in the mask. Bit of a delay that's going on. He's still going to work behind the plate, but it looked like he has some communication piece that was in the ear. And for him, that had knocked it out. He's got the earpiece that has been a problem. Looks like that's been taken care of as he talks to the other umpires. So he is back out to continue to work here. And maybe they've taken that out or whatever that might be. But it looks like that he is coming back out to work the inning. I don't think we're going to have any other stoppages because of that. But he is ready to go. Looks like it is going to be Daigo Kawabata coming to the plate as he will hit for Taiki Narama. So Kawabata coming in. The first pitch that is delivered to him is a fastball taken for a called strike. One of the other things I was talking about yesterday was the Hawks beat Team Taiwan, and you think of the players that are out of the lineup for them. There's a fastball missing inside. Count as 1-1. There was no Kensuke Kondo, no Yukio Shudo, and no Taisi Makihara. 3 potent bats in their lineup. So they're facing a team that has taken 3 bats out of the lineup. I can only imagine what that score would have been. But, if you're playing these national teams, they're all professionals, as it's 2-1 here to Kawabata. I think if Taiwan had to play a team like Fukuoka 10 times, they'd win 2 or 3 games. There's no doubt about it. Fastball swung on, and it's going to be lifted into straightaway center field. Moving over underneath it and making the catch is the center fielder for Taiwan, and that is Song, who will make the first out of the inning, and that'll bring up the catcher in Shimizu, but we'll see if Shimizu is going to get his chance to continue to hit. Looks like we're going to have a pitching change. That's going to be the end of the night. I don't know why they are doing that in between the innings, but that is going to spell the end of the night here for Chen. We got a pitching change. We'll be back in just a couple of moments. They're taking a look at his hand as he leaves the field. Why now? Why not before he's throwing his pitches? So his day is done. We've got a change on our hands, and our friend Steve Rademacher to keep you all entertained. We'll be right back in just a couple moments after this timeout.
Oh, hello. Oh, hey. Yep. I'm just sitting here listening to Freddie call another game here on YouTube. Oh, yeah, going really good. He's calling a great game. Really exciting. Lots of stuff going on. You're lucky it's commercial break right now. I got a second. Oh, yeah, of course I'm having a cold one. Oh, yeah, got plenty of videos coming up this week. You should stop in, check them out, leave a like, tell other people. But, Freddie's coming back. I got to go catch the game. I will check in with you later. You have a good night, buddy. Bye.
Welcome back, everybody. This is where it gets interesting again. It's going to be YH Lai coming in. He's not on the World Baseball Classic squad, but it is one of those situations where you have the best way to put it is it's the supplemental players or the support players, as they have a few of those. It looks like, as we mentioned the other night, we were talking a little bit about the tune-up games for the World Baseball Classic. The Czechs got blown out yesterday by the Chiba Lotte Marines. The final score in that one was 18-4. And, the Marines absolutely put a beat down. The Czechs had beaten the Marines in a rain-shortened game, but it really didn't take effect. They said it didn't really count, as we had saw that prior to. So up stepping to the plate, we've got it as Shimizu. I'll take a look, see if the catcher is still staying in the ball game. I didn't catch another number here, so that was a ball down. I think we do have a pinch hitter here. It looks like it is. Looks like it's number 5, which would be Yuki Nomura. As he swings through a fastball, it's now 1 ball and 1 strike. So Nomura to hit for Shimizu. I think that probably that means that Iwatamiya would stay in the game, or has stayed in the game behind the plate. Pitch on the way, fastball misses, down and away. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Nomura. Right-hander rocking himself into the motion. He kicks and delivers. There's a fastball center cut for a called strike, and the count now goes to 2-2. Shu Yamagata waiting his turn on deck. 2 balls and 2 strikes, 1 gone here in inning number 8. Fighters with a commanding 6-1 lead. And the pitch on the way is a fastball swung on, and it's going to be lifted foul, and the count goes to, or remains to 2-2. I also say this about Team Taiwan. I like the fact that they get a chance to play, and I'd like to see a little bit more of this, playing the Japanese, playing the Koreans a little bit more, because it's only going to raise the caliber of play. It's a 6-team league now in Taiwan. For a while there, they were down to 4 teams. There's a fastball swung on it as foul. It's going to reach the seats. I'd like to see if they could maybe house an 8-team league. But to do that, they're going to have to increase the pitching pool, and maybe have to increase the import rule as well. Maybe be able to add a couple more imports to your team. So 2 balls and 2 strikes as the right-hander kicks and fires. Fastball swung on, chopped softly over to the third base side. Oh, who says pitchers aren't athletes? It was a nice effort there by the pitcher, Lai, to come off the mound. It looked like he got his cleats caught as he threw over to first base. It's going to be an infield single here for Nomura, as he was able to get down the line. It's a swing bunt, so to speak. So Nomura aboard with a single, and that is going to bring Yamagata to the plate. Another thing, too, is that the style of play, like, we haven't seen a single bunt in any of these 2 nights. And as I was saying before, when you watch the Japanese league, they like to bunt. They move, they sacrifice the guys over. Korean league likes to bunt. Saw some bunting last year in the Taiwanese league. Have seen 0 signs of it here tonight. And that's probably to try to get the hitters their timing. They're not necessarily working to win. They're going to try to win by playing smash mouth baseball. There's a fly ball to right field, camping out underneath it, easily making the catch is Chen, and that is going to retire Yamagata for the second out of the inning. because the power game is probably not something that they're going to be relying upon. We do have a pinch hitter here for Shun Mizutani. So Mizutani's night is going to be done. We'll get that here for you. As the first pitch on the way from Lai is a breaking ball that misses down and away, so 1 ball and no strikes. It is number 60. That is Kengo Yoshida. As Yoshida waits here on the offering from the right-hander. There's a fastball swung on his chop softly down the third base line, and Yu Cheng is playing third base, lets that one roll foul. So Kengo Yoshida pinch hitting for Shun Mizutani. 1 ball and 1 strike it is. Tomorrow night, it'll be the Weichuan Dragons will take on the Fighters. That game goes off at 11 o'clock Pacific time or 2 a.m. Eastern. We were looking to do the call of that one, but it's not going to happen. If we do something tomorrow, it'll be the Dragons and Samurai Japan. There's a fastball down. Throw goes down to second base, and sliding in and being tagged out for the third out of the inning is going to be Yuki Nomura, as he is caught stealing 2-6. And that will do it here for the Fighters in their half of the inning. Well, they had no runs in the inning. They had a hit, no errors, and there was nobody left aboard. We're moving to the bottom of the 8th inning. Your score is the Hokkaido Nippon-Ham Fighters 6 and Team Taiwan 1. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in just a few with all the action after this. Our friend Users Cubs Pete Crow Armstrong in the house. We'll be back to chat with the chat when we return in just a few.
Never really know what's going on. Look at me sometimes like all you want to do is run. Hear me out, hear me out. If all the things you never show.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the top of the order, and that means Cheng Rui, Song Yu Cheng, and Chi Xian Chen coming to bat. Our friend is asking if we're going to be able to do the Dragons and Samurai Japan after this one. We looked at doing that. I have to be honest, I don't think we're going to be able to call it, because by the time this one's done and I got to get the setup for the next one, may not work tonight. I think we're going to have to do tomorrow night's one, because I'm not going to be able to do the Dragons and the game between them and the Fighters tomorrow night. So it'll probably be the Samurai Japan Dragon game tomorrow. As the first pitch on the way is a fastball taken at the knees for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Song. Song tonight 0 for 3. He has struck out, grounded out, and flown out in his 3 trips. As the right-hander delivers, there's a breaking ball missing down and away. Count is 1-1. We do have a new pitcher on the mound here. It is Kosuke Kuroyanagi. As the right-hander kicks and delivers, there's a fastball swung on it, is popped up into left field. Moving over underneath it with plenty of room to make the catch. As that looks like that is Yoshida out there patrolling left field now, and he's going to retire Song for the first out of the inning. It's going to bring up Yu Cheng to the plate. So for the Fighters, this is their 5th pitcher used tonight. As Kosuke Kuroyanagi on the mound here. First pitch breaking ball delivered to Chang. Take it for a called strike. And the count is quickly 0-1. Chang has scored the only run tonight and the only run in this series for Taiwan. He had a double and came home on an RBI single off the bat of Anko Lin in the 6th inning. Breaking ball misses down. The count goes even at 1-1. So a ball and a strike. So as I mentioned, it'll be Samurai Japan and the Dragons tomorrow. We'll get that all set up. Late night baseball action, as there's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count goes to 1-2. Certainly the Dragons kind of like not say a cream puff, but not exactly a powerhouse of the Japanese league to face Samurai Japan. There's a breaking ball swung on and missed, and that is going to retire Cheng. He's gone for the second out of the inning, and that'll leave it up to Chi Xian Chen. Looking at the other exhibition friendly games that are coming up here, as we mentioned before, tonight, Dragons. Tomorrow, again, Dragons in Japan. As the pitch on the way is a fastball that misses down. Game I would like to call would be the Hanshin Tigers in South Korea, but that one we're not going to be able to do. That is on the 2nd of March. I'd love to be able to do that one. I'd like to see that action. There's a fastball that misses down and in. The count is 1-0. I don't understand why there's not more Hanshin Tiger arms. Really just relievers on this team. I thought a couple of the starters would be making their way. There's a fastball swung through and missed by Chen. The count is 1-1. Also, too, I kind of also just thinking out loud why the starter Morishita hasn't had a sniff from the Hiroshima Carp. I thought he would have been somebody that might have been national team worthy. As that fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count now goes to 2-2 on Chen. 2-2 pitch coming. Fastball swung on. It's tapped in front of home plate. Oh, nice play there by the catcher to pounce on it. That looks like it is Tamiya. And he is going to fire to first base, and that is going to retire Chen on a ground out 2-3, and that is going to do it here for Taiwan in the bottom of the 8th inning. They go quietly and they go in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. Your scores, we're now through 8 complete. It is the Fighters 6 and Taiwan 1. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments with all the action right after this timeout. 6-1's the score. Top of the 9th, just around the corner.
Hello, guys. Thank you for joining Freddie here on his baseball game. And I'm Steve Rademacher, and my channel is really all about everybody, including all my international friends. We have such stuff as non-sport packs from Canada, the OP Cheese. We have the Greek Freak. We have money from around the world. We have Lira. We have Yen. We have francs. We have pounds. We have Deutschmarks. We have all kinds of cool stuff like that. We even have some cooler things like Japanese women wrestlers and OPC baseball cards where I cannot read the back. We even have unopened material like the royal family, I know it's backwards, from London, England. Thank you for watching. Back to Freddie.
And thank you, Steve, for supporting our channel. The Foxes are out as the Hokkaido Nippon-Ham Fighters are doing their dances. We'll be back in 30 seconds with all the action after this. Welcome back, everybody. We are ready to resume the action here in the top of the ninth inning as the Taiwanese are back at it again. And the first pitch delivered to Yoshida is swung on and it is lifted. It's going to slice its way into the seats down the right field line. And the count is quickly 0-1 to Yoshida. It is a pitching change as well as number 60, Jun Yu Seng, is now on, as he is going to be the seventh pitcher used tonight. So number 60, Jun Yu Seng. So no balls and 2 strikes, as there's another one fouled off here by Yoshida. So 0-2 in the hole. As the righty kicks and fires, there's a fastball swung on another ball that's hammered. This one's going to be reaching the seats down the right field line. And the count remains at 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Right-hander ready to go again. Seng holding at the set. Kicks and fires. There's a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count now goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. That's why I saw a little bit different. I forgot that he was at the plate in the last half inning. I was looking at the 8th inning and not the 9th. I'd already colored in some spots. There's a breaking ball missing down. 2-2 now to Yoshida. Of course, he starts with a fresh count, the noob at bat. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Right-hander kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on. This is lifted foul. It's going to reach the seats over on the first base side. 2 balls and 2 strikes it remains. Curious to see who the Japanese would be starting tonight against the Dragons and how that's going to shape up. Fastball swung on that is going to be fouled away. Foul tipped into the catcher's mitt, and that is going to do it, as that is the 3rd out of the inning. First out of the inning. We're getting tired over here. So strikeout here. We're gone number 1, and now stepping up to the plate is Chusei Manami. Manami has stayed in the ballgame the whole night. He's 2 for 4, and he takes a first pitch fastball for a called strike. He's got a home run, a single, a couple RBIs, and a couple of strikeouts. As there's a fastball swung on it, is going to be lifted foul into the seats. So no balls and 2 strikes to Manami, and there is another pitch. He checks his swing, but they say he didn't go around. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Trying to find out exactly who is in the starting lineup, at least in the next one. They say that the lineups have been announced. It looks like Hiroya Miyagi is going to be the starting pitcher tonight against the Dragons, as that pitch just misses. It's 2-2. Right-hander delivers again. There's a breaking ball waved at and missed. Well, Himatize Manami now has a hat trick worth of strikeouts. He's gone for the 2nd out of the inning. Ball just fell right off the table, and that will do it for him. So 2 gone, and it's going to bring Rodolfo Castro up to the plate. Castro came on to pinch hit in the 7th inning for Franmil Reyes. He's 0 for 1 as he struck out his first time up, and he takes a fastball inside for a ball and no strikes. 1 ball and no strikes it is, as the right-hander ready to go again. Pitch on the way. There's a breaking ball swung on. This ball's belted into deep left field, moving back onto the warning track and now coming back in, and he's there to make the catch. Is going to be the left fielder, Chen, and that will do it. He sent it a long way, did Castro, just not long enough. And he will be gone for the 3rd out of the inning. Well, they go quietly, do the Fighters in the top of the 9th. And in order, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left aboard. Bottom of the 9th inning coming up here. Your score is the Hokkaido Nippon-Ham Fighters with a 6-1 lead over the Taiwanese. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few right after this timeout.
Well, you got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play. But you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole. Yeah.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the heart of the batting order slated to come to bat for the Taiwanese. It'll be Anko Lin, Yin-Ting Wu, and Kun Yu Chang slated to hit. Talking a little bit about some of this stuff that's going on in the Classic. The news out of Cuba was that they have 8 members of their entourage would not be making the trip. They didn't get access to come into the United States, including their pitching coach, who, as far as I know, is the only one at the moment. And that is not going to be allowed into stateside. It is going to be Taisi Yanagawa, who is on in relief now for the Fighters. He is going to look to close it out. Yanagawa, the tall, lanky right-hander, on in relief, as he is going to be slated to be the 6th pitcher used by the Fighters tonight. The first pitch, fastball, swung on and fouled away, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Anko Lin. As I mentioned, Lin getting a look at all of the pitchers he's going to be facing this year as Yanagawa ready to deliver. He rocks and fires. There's a fastball waved at and missed. The count now goes to 0-2. He's got a little giddy up on the fastball. This is for sure. And a wry smile in the dugout. That last pitch was at 156 kilometers an hour, and then he follows it up with a breaking ball down and in, and is now 1-2. 156 kilometers, that puts that at about 97 miles an hour on our gun. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fastball that swung on and grounded, foul over on the first base side. The count remains at 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Once this game is over, we'll give you a little brief recap, and then we'll call it a night, as this one here is almost in the books as the 1-2 pitch forthcoming. As Yanagawa kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on and missed, and Anko Lin is in the books. He's gone for the 2nd time tonight via the strikeout. He is in the books, and that is going to bring up Yin-Ting Wu to the plate. It's good old-fashioned hardball. Get up there, throw it hard, and try to throw it by somebody, and that's exactly what Yanagawa did. Now it's slated to bring Wu to the plate. It looks like we may have a pinch hitter here, and that's exactly what it may be. It is number 6 coming to the plate, and by our counts, not sure who that is. It goes back into a supplemental player as that fastball misses outside. 1 ball and 1 strike here to the unconfirmed player, as they would say. Pitch on the way. It's a breaking ball that misses down and in. Looks like it is Po Shen Wong. So 2 balls and 1 strike as that pitch misses in the dirt. There is a fastball that's swung on and missed. The count now goes to 2-2 on Wong. Right-hander Yanagawa ready to go again. He rocks into the motion, kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that misses inside, and the count now goes full. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Right-hander working quickly, gets the ball and goes right back into the motion. He kicks and delivers. There's a changeup, swung on and missed. Oh, I took a little something off of that one. And that is going to retire Wong. He's gone for the second out of the inning, and that's going to leave it all up, at least on our books, to Kunyu Chang. We'll see if Chang is going to make his stop at the plate. Nope, it's not. It's going to be a pinch hitter here. And I don't know if this fella has a nickname. I'll have to figure it out, but it's certainly got to be something along the lines of the alphabet, because this is going to be the catcher. This is Kungkwan Giljeglaja, if I've said that correctly. I hope I have, because it was driving me crazy during the Premier 12 tournament, but he is a powerful hitter. And the first pitch fastball is swung through and missed, and the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and one strike. Pitch on the way from Yamagata. There's a fastball that, well, I'm not sure where that missed. Looked pretty darn good. The count runs even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. They are down to their final out are the Taiwanese. As the right-hander ready to go again, he holds to the set and delivers. Fastball just a little bit below the knees, and the count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and a strike. Down to their final out as the right-hander rocks into the delivery, and he kicks and fires. Fastball swung through and missed, and now the Taiwanese are down to their final strike. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Kungkwan Giljeglaja, if that's how you say it. And there is a fastball that is swung on and missed, and that is going to do it here, as this ball game is in the books as the Fighters knock off the Taiwanese 6-1. We'll come back and wrap this one up for you here. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board in the 9th inning. High fives all the way around for the Fighters as they come away with their first victory of this series. The Taiwanese, they drop both of the ball games. It'll be the Fighters and the Dragons tomorrow night. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be right back after this and wind it up for you. Final score 6-1 for the Fighters. We'll be right back in just a few.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I'll take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. We thank you for joining us tonight on the game between the Fighters and Team Taiwan, Chinese Taipei. Well, it was pretty easy, pretty simple. The scoring got going in the second inning. Yuya Gunji solo shot opened it up to lead off the second inning. 1-0 gave the Fighters the lead. They added to their lead in the fourth with 1 out, a walk to Yuya Gunji, and up stepped Haruki Nishikawa, and he deposited a 2-run shot into the seats. That made the scoreline 3-0. In the top of the fifth inning, the Fighters added to their lead. With 1 out, there was a single off the bat of Shin Mizutani, and then up stepped Chusei Minamini, and he delivered a 2-run shot. That made the scoreline 5-0. Well, the Taiwanese got one back in the sixth inning after a leadoff strikeout from Song. Yu Cheng doubled. And then after a ground out, it was an RBI single off the bat of An Ko Lin that brought home Cheng with the first run of the series for the Taiwanese. That made the scoreline 5-1. But in the seventh inning, the Fighters responded with another run of their own, a leadoff double off the bat of Shu Yamagata. And after a strikeout from Shun Mizutani, Chusei Manami singled that put runners to the corners. And then with 2 out after Rodolfo Castro struck out, Yuya Gunji singled home another run, and that increased the score line to 6-1, and that is where the final score ended. So once again, your final score 6-1, 6 runs for the Fighters. And by our count tonight, they had 11 hits and no errors, no miscues. The Taiwanese, well, they had a couple of more hits tonight than they had before. They had 1 run on 5 hits and no errors. So they upped their tally from last night where they only had 2. That might be a better sign for them moving forward. All right, everybody, it'll be back on again tomorrow. It'll be Team Samurai Japan and the Dragons. We were thinking about doing the game tonight. We're not going to be able to get onto the stream here in the next 15 minutes or so. We're going to call it a night, but we'll be back on late night tomorrow. Dragons and Samurai Japan. Hopefully you guys can make it in for all the action on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Have a great night, and we'll see you again tomorrow.